Welcome to an SN College Football Special. Notre Dame, Western Michigan, SMU, they're out of conference games. We're going to be looking at the Michigan schedule for 2018, seeing really what's going to take place this year on this schedule. It does look a bit challenging, potentially, at points. But really it should be alright to get through the season. And I make it to a bowl game. All right. So we've got Notre Dame to start us off. September 1st. So Notre Dame, they're always a good team. This is a road game for Michigan. And I think it will be a challenge for them. So at the end of this, we're going to predict the record. Western Michigan, I think it's going to be an SMU. Both should be expected to win. Nebraska is going to be a big jump in competition from SMU and Western Michigan. I don't know exactly how good Nebraska is going to be this year, but certainly probably going to be better than SMU. At Northwestern, that's a trap game. They should be able to win at Northwestern, but crazy things happen in the Big Ten, and don't be surprised if they start 1-1 in the Big Ten, losing one of those two games. Maryland, they should be able to win. That one's at home, and it's on homecoming. I think that's going to be all right. Wisconsin, at home, that's a really tough game. They do get Wisconsin at home, as well as Nebraska in their crossover games. Then you get at Michigan State. Wisconsin at Michigan State heading into their off week. Those are two really tough games, and they could potentially drop both of those and maybe below 500 on Big Ten play. Or just above it heading into the off week. But I think they're going to be all right. They should be able to win one of those two, either Wisconsin or Michigan State. I don't think they will lose both of those. I think they've got a good enough team in place to beat one of those teams. But I think Wisconsin's going to be a better team than Michigan State. But Michigan State, of course, Michigan should play their best football there. But Wisconsin might be tough because they'll look ahead to Michigan State. Of course, the off week is really going to seem very interesting place. I think right into Penn State, which is at home, which again should be all right for Michigan. At Rutgers, should be able to win there. Indiana, home. I think that's going to be another one of those trap games just before the rivalry week. Indiana should be better than they were last year. Of course, we'll see. This is not going to be until these teams would have played 10 games, the Indiana-Michigan game. Then, of course, Ohio State, that's on noon Eastern on Fox. Big Ten Championship, December 1st on Fox. Looking back at the schedule, I think the first three, they should be able to go either 3-0 or 2-1. Not sure. So I'm just going to go 2-1. And to finish into their bye week, it should be all right. I'm gonna say they finish this season around 8-4 or 9-3. That's my prediction right now. Maybe 10-2 at the best. I think with this schedule, very tough. I think having to play Wisconsin and Penn State, or Wisconsin and Nebraska, two of the tougher crossover games you could get. Minnesota's also good, but they don't have them this year. I think Northwestern is also tough. They didn't get Purdue, they didn't get Iowa, they didn't get Minnesota, and they didn't get Illinois. Illinois is probably the one that you want if you want an easy win. But of course, the second half of the season might be a loss or two. At least one is going. I think they're going to lose one of the last 4 games of the season. So I think that they would get 9-3 is my projection. Of course, it could waver a game depending on injuries and things like that. The game either way. But 2 or 3 losses in Big Ten. At Michigan State and at Ohio State, probably the 2 games that you look towards. But I think they might be able to win one of those 2, and then might drop one to Wisconsin or Indiana. They have 2 tough road games in conference play, and then 2 should win road games. But the Notre Dame game, I think that's another game that you really got to look out for. So I think they might lose to Notre Dame. And I think they're going to go 9-3, which if they go 6-3 in Big Ten, that's not going to get them to the championship. But if they go 7-2, potentially could get to there, the Indianapolis. But I think they'd have to win some tiebreakers to go win 2 losses. You'd have to beat Ohio State, probably, and Michigan State. Your losses would probably have to beat Wisconsin and like Indiana or something, or Nebraska in Big Ten play. But I think Michigan should be able to. But again, having Ohio State and Michigan State on the road this year, very tough. And don't forget about Penn State, everybody. They're a good team too. So my prediction, 9-3 overall. Probably finish second or about second in Big Ten East, behind either Ohio State or Michigan State. It's so tough to tell right now. I will do a whole Big Ten projection later. But I just wanted to follow up on yesterday's video on what Jim Harbaugh said at the actual press conference. Wanted to look at what his team's got ahead of this coming this fall. As you know, it should be a good year for college football. And the Big Ten championship, I I've watched a lot of Big Ten championships in my life, and year should be no different. Should be watching it again on December 1st, which is exactly 3 months after the season begins. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm Jay White saying so long. Peace out.